Every investigation begins with a question. Some questions are answered within hours, others take years, and then there are the questions that never find an answer. This is one of those questions. Tuesday, September 14th. To everyone living in Oak Ridge, it was just another ordinary school morning. Parents rushed through breakfast. Children searched for homework they should have packed the night before. Coffee brewed in quiet kitchens. The local news talked about traffic. Nothing unusual, nothing memorable. Nobody realized history had already begun. 8-year-old Lily Harper hated waking up early. Every morning followed the exact same routine. Her mother knocked twice. Lily answered. 5 more minutes. It was never 5 minutes. Sometimes 10. Sometimes 15. It had become a joke inside the Harper household. But this morning, something had changed. At exactly 6:42, Emily Harper opened Lily's bedroom door. Lily was already awake, sitting quietly on the edge of her bed, fully dressed, shoes tied, backpack waiting beside the door. Emily smiled. "You're ready already?" Lily nodded. "I couldn't sleep." Emily laughed. "Too excited for school?" Lily looked toward the rain-covered window. "I had a strange dream." "What happened?" Lily frowned. "I don't remember. I just remember feeling like today was important." Children say strange things. Parents rarely realize which words they'll remember forever. Emily smiled. "Well, let's make today a good one." Lily smiled back. "I'll try." Breakfast was simple. Toast, eggs, orange juice. The television quietly discussed road construction on the east side of town. Traffic would be slightly heavier than usual. Nothing more. Emily reminded Lily not to forget her science project. Lily pointed toward the hallway. Everything had already been packed. Homework, lunch, raincoat, science project, everything. Emily laughed. "Who are you? And what have you done with my daughter?" Lily laughed. A real laugh, the kind only children can make. For just a moment, the entire kitchen felt lighter. At exactly 7:17, bus 214 stopped in front of the Harper house. Its brakes released with the familiar hiss every family on the block recognized. The folding doors slowly opened. Children climbed aboard one after another. Some were still half asleep. Others were already laughing before they even found their seats. Backpacks bumped against each other. Lunchboxes swung from tiny hands. It sounded exactly like every other school morning. The driver greeted each child with the same familiar smile. "Morning, morning, morning." Then, Lily stepped onto the first stair. She suddenly stopped. She turned around. Emily looked confused. "What is it?" Lily didn't answer immediately. She simply looked at her mother, not for 1 second, not for 2, but long enough that Emily would remember that moment for the rest of her life. Then Lily smiled. "I love you." Emily smiled back without hesitation. "I love you too. Now hurry, before somebody steals your favorite seat." Lily laughed quietly, turned around, climbed the remaining steps, and disappeared into the bus. The folding doors closed. The engine rumbled. Bus 214 slowly disappeared around the corner. Emily remained standing on the sidewalk. Even after the bus had disappeared from sight, she smiled to herself, then quietly turned toward the front door. The house felt different when Lily wasn't there. Quieter, still. Emily had noticed it every school morning, but only for a few seconds. There was always something to do. Breakfast dishes, laundry, work emails. Life rarely slowed down long enough for silence to matter. She rinsed the dishes, wiped the kitchen counter, opened the living room curtains. Morning sunlight filtered through the windows. Outside, the neighborhood continued exactly as it always had. Cars came and went. Lawn sprinklers clicked rhythmically across the street. Somewhere nearby, a dog barked twice. It was the kind of morning nobody would ever remember, until they were forced to remember every single second. Around 11:30, Emily opened the refrigerator. Lily's favorite apple juice was still sitting on the top shelf. Emily smiled. She forgot it again. She placed it back exactly where it had been. Years later, that bottle would still be one of the hardest things for her to throw away. The afternoon arrived quietly. Clouds drifted across the sky. The rain never returned. Emily glanced at the clock. 3:45. In just a few minutes, Lily would come running through the front door. She always had a story to tell. Sometimes about a spelling quiz, sometimes about recess, sometimes about absolutely nothing at all. Emily smiled. She wondered what today's story would be. 3:47. Emily looked through the front window. The school bus usually arrived at exactly this time. She waited. 3:48. No bus. 3:49. Emily checked the street again. Still nothing. Probably traffic, she whispered to herself. 3:52. The feeling in her stomach slowly changed. Not fear, just concern. 4 o'clock. Lily still wasn't home. Emily reached for her phone. She searched for Oak Ridge Elementary School. Her thumb hesitated for only a second. Then she pressed call. The line rang once, twice. A cheerful voice answered. Oak Ridge Elementary School, how may I help you? Emily forced a smile the secretary couldn't see. Hi, my daughter usually gets home by now. I was wondering if the buses were running late. Her name is Lily Harper, 2nd grade. Could you check for me? Of course. One moment, please. Emily heard the sound of a keyboard, keys clicking one after another. 1 second. 2. 3. The typing suddenly stopped. Complete silence. Emily frowned. She pulled the phone closer to her ear. Something felt wrong. She couldn't explain why, but she suddenly found herself holding her breath. Mrs. Harper? Yes? The secretary's cheerful voice was gone. It had become cautious, careful, almost uncertain. I'm sorry, could you repeat your daughter's name? Lily Harper, 2nd grade. The keyboard began again, faster this time. Then it stopped. Another long silence, longer than the first. Mrs. Harper? Yes? Are you absolutely certain that Lily came to school today? Emily felt her heart skip. What do you mean? I watched her get on the bus this morning. She left at 7:17, just like every other Tuesday. The secretary didn't answer immediately. When she finally spoke, her words made even less sense. Mrs. Harper, Lily Harper was marked absent today. According to our records, she never arrived at school.